Kids growing up in certain areas within the inner city have dramatically worse outcomes on any number of dimensions, whether it's mortality, economic attainment, educational attainment. And it's not that it has to be that way, and it's not that we haven't figured out the solutions yet. Great social entrepreneurs have actually developed programs that solve these issues. The shame is that we can't get all those great programs operating the right way in a city altogether. GreenLight has the potential to change that.
The idea was, how do we get the best of what we know that's working around the country into Boston to address critical needs affecting children and families in the city's high poverty areas that aren't being adequately addressed.
GreenLight has taken a very novel approach in my mind, which isn't trying to say, let's try and get organizations to do something they don't do, and let's not try and create organizations completely from scratch, but let's go out around the country and find out what the best organizations are that could fill those gaps and then bring them to Boston.
It's very expensive to conduct the right kind of exploration for starting a program in a new city. And as a result, this doesn't occur very much, and it's a loss for the country.
We began to talk to social entrepreneurs around the country to really understand what those barriers were to entering in a new city, and created GreenLight to lower those barriers.
GreenLight creates this network of nonprofits. We're able to lean on each other, share best practices, and at the same time, really support the bottom line of each organization, which is the families, students, young people.
It gives communities a tool to help them solve problems. Areas where we don't have the nonprofit or support services needed to overcome an issue.
It really takes an escort to sort of pave the way to really help an organization be successful.
One of the things that I'm proud of when I think about our involvement at Bank of America with GreenLight is that we were there early. It was innovative and we jumped in. We looked at the leadership and said, if anyone can do it, they can.
I'm really proud of the organization that's been built at GreenLight, the team that's in place there, the incredible people that we have driving the mission forward every day, and then the way that communities have responded has been even more enthusiastic and in-depth than I would have thought.
I don't know that we could have imagined being in 4 cities at this point. We have 9 organizations in our portfolio in Boston and 15 across the country. We've now helped Boston organizations expand to other cities because we know Boston's an incredible hotbed of social innovations.
Of the 9 organizations that GreenLight has brought to Boston, we're actively working with 5 of them, and several of them are playing really crucial roles in major initiatives of the Boston Foundation.
I don't think we could have imagined the caliber of these organizations and what they would have done over a 10-year period. We have organizations that have statewide reach now.
There are almost 400 children and young adults who would not be getting the services of youth villages without the GreenLight Fund, because the GreenLight Fund helped pave the way for us to come into Boston and come into the Commonwealth.
The real results of GreenLight are from the stories of the people whose lives are affected by these organizations. The family members who are working together through the Family Independence Initiative to chart their own ways out of poverty. It's having a chance to talk to Georgie and Abby, who I first met as 6-year-olds when they began Friends of the Children and are now going into their senior years in high school. That's where I get my inspiration, and those stories get amplified hundreds and thousands of times over, and that's the real impact of GreenLight.
I think the future for GreenLight is cities who haven't had the opportunity or have the resources or infrastructure to support their citizens, and GreenLight being a key player in sort of that support and in changing the landscape of cities.
It would be great to think about every major city in the U.S. being a GreenLight city.
The biggest challenge is to be as ambitious and even more so for the next 5 years and the next 10 years to double, triple, quadruple impact in the cities that we're in, and then get to handfuls of other cities.
I hope that GreenLight continues to thrive and grow. It deserves to. But I also hope that GreenLight stimulates a broader discussion about how to gain wider adoption of the things that are truly working.
To see just how far we've come in 10 years with 4 cities operating, Boston being the deepest, longest, strongest, with 50,000 plus children and families benefiting every year, 9 incredible organizations all working together. That's humbling and inspiring, and at the same time really speaks to me and to us to say, okay, if that's been possible in 10 years, what's possible in the next 10 years?